which is quite disastrous. And this is the reason why today as well we considered it important to hear the direct testimony of people who are the protagonists of this situation. In the first part of this meeting, we will hear the story of the dangerous journey of Filimon Mebratom, an immigrant coming from Eritrea, who was saved in the Mediterranean. We will also hear the testimony of Katrin Schmidt, a member of the crew of the ship Juventa, who participated in rescue operations until 2017. So, without further ado, I will begin by giving the floor to Filimon Mebratom. Please.
Dankeschön, dass ich erst einmal hier sein.
Thank you for inviting me to come here today to share my story. My name is Filimon Mebratom. I come from Eritrea. I love my country, our culture, the music, the food, the people. I miss this terribly in Germany, but I left that country because I wanted to live in freedom. In Africa, young people are yearning to move because there is no freedom of expression, there is poverty, there are no opportunities. For as long as I can remember, I only experienced suffering and violence. Soldiers keep coming back and taking people to join the military. Even as a small child, I wondered what was going to happen to these people. This dictatorship does whatever it wants, oppresses the people. I trained as a cameraman and wanted to become a journalist. I want to show people the truth, but under this dictatorship, there was no hope for me to work as a journalist. It would have certainly meant my death. I fled through Ethiopia, Sudan, and the desert. I nearly died of thirst. I desperately needed water. Nobody helped me. I remembered my beloved mother, who was always there for me when I was hungry and thirsty. But this was a very hard time for me in the desert, without food, without water. Many people die crossing the desert, then they're just left there. They're not buried. There are dried up bodies everywhere. This leaves me full of despair. When I arrived in Libya, I had to be sold like an object. I wasn't seen as a person. I ended up in various camps. And what I experienced there was just pure hell. People were hit for no reason and shot for no reason. In one camp, there were 4,000 people. Many of them were starving and were fainting from weakness. People die there. So because people had no other opportunity, they broke down the gates. When the guards caught people, they just put people back in the camp and set fire to it. These are images that I will never be able to rid my memory of. I finally made it to the coast, and some smugglers took a group of us. I was very afraid of the dark water. I had never been to sea before. I don't know how to swim. We had to line up. I was right at the front of the line. But because I was so afraid, I actually went to the back. I wasn't sure whether I would survive. We were ferried to a wooden vessel in an inflatable dinghy. The boat was really overcrowded. I felt helpless. I'm still young. The smugglers forced me to climb onto the boat. It was terrible. It was suffocating. There was no air. I tried to hide amongst other people. I'd paid so much money for this. Why should I die now in the hold? I finally found a place where I could stay for the crossing, but the sea was very rough. The waves were crashing against the sides of the boat. Many people had to vomit. People were suffocating in the hold. I wanted to survive. I wanted to live. At last, the sun went up after hours at sea. I had lost all hope. I thought we were all going to die. I really felt panic at the dark water. There were pregnant women on board the boat and injured people, one mother with 4 children. I felt very worried about those 4 children. I'm the only one there of my family on this boat. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the Italian Navy found us and saved us. I was so happy. I felt I was saved from that deep, dark sea. That was in autumn 2014. I think nowadays things would go differently. It would be a very different story to be on the Mediterranean in such a rickety vessel. I have no possibility to bring my family safely to Europe. I feel helpless. What can I do? What can I do to get them to safety? Every person has only one life, like me. Everybody would like to live that life in freedom, just as a white dove can fly wherever it wishes. I risked my life to come to Europe, even though I haven't been accepted in Germany. My life in Germany is very limited. I don't have any passport in Germany. I don't know how much longer I will be allowed to remain, or when I will be deported. Where can I go then? What have I done to you? I'm just a human being like you. Every day, countless people lose their lives in Libya, in the Mediterranean. All of you here in Europe have a good life. Europe has the key to end all of this dying. Why don't you do it? Why do you leave those people to continue to die? How long do we have to keep on dying when we try to leave our countries? How long will we still be dying in the deserts, drowning in the Mediterranean? How long do we have to wait to be recognized as human beings? Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much for this testimony. Now I'd like to give the floor to Katrin Schmidt.
First of all, thank you, Filimon, for coming here today and sharing your story.